How did the record come about? How did you guys sort of come up with the idea, or first talk to each other?
Well, I had an idea to make to start another band because I'd written a whole bunch of songs that sounded as country as I was ever going to get. You know, I made the mistake of saying that in an interview. So country's kind of haunted this record, but it never turned out that way. It's not a country record, but the music I was listening to when I was writing the songs certainly was country. I got Ian involved. Ian was loads of people that were on tour with Snow Patrol at the time. Ian Archer, we were doing the Rework tour at the end of last year, and Ian Archer and Troy Stewart and Richard Coburn from Belle and Sebastian was playing with Snow Patrol at the time. And then I asked Garrett, and I talked to Garrett about, you know, the rough idea. It was a very rough idea that it was, and Garrett said, well, you know who you really want to get involved? It's Peter and Scott. You know, they'd be perfect. And he sent them an email, and they, to my astonishment at the time, they agreed to be on the record.
How did Zoe and Em Ward get involved? Were they sort of friends of yours, or was it?
Yeah, Matt, he's a Portland guy, and I kind of am partly living in Portland. Scott lives in Portland. And we were just trying to think of people who were interesting and had kind of character and you know, Scott just emailed him or called him and said, hey, you want to drop by? And he was a fan of Snow Patrol and friends of ours, and he kind of showed up. I assumed he'd be doing, you know, what he usually does, which is finger picking, and instead he did this really kind of cool psychedelic guitar, you know, kind of washes of oceanic sound, which I'd never really seen him do before. And then I think he did some finger picking, but you know, that was kind of like, hey, let's bring this guy by, you know, and it was that kind of thing. And, you know, we get people to show up and not necessarily know, is this going to be an overdub? Is this going to be cut live? And we did a little bit of both.
Well, Matt Ward played live. He hadn't even taken off his jacket. You know, it was like he was in the studio for a few minutes. We had a chat. He put a guitar on, and the track on Held in the Arms of Your Words, track 5 on the record, that is the first take, and that is Matt playing live, us all playing live, but him playing literally 3 minutes
Still out of
after.
breath from climbing the stage.
Absolutely, you know. So it's you know, that's how this record was made. It was made without you know, without discussions and plans and stuff. We did it on instinct.
I've read your words 1,000 times. On the spot, I smashed up love and crying. I could say anything.
And so, 16 songs finished. I mean, 10 on the record, isn't it? So, what are you going to do with the other songs?
We're going to sell them to the highest bidder. We're going to an EP, I think, probably. But what Peter wants to do. One of them, I think, we should save to the next album.
So you're already planning a second type?
Yeah, probably the first week of January every year until one of us drops dead.
January is kind of free for most musicians. It is the darkest part of the calendar where music is concerned, and you know, it's as Peter says, it's nice to fill up with something that you know, that is inspiring and fun, rather than just sitting, you know, playing Russian roulette with yourself in your house in the rain.